They've come from around the world, more than 1,000 teams from over 30 nations. I'm Jenny Dell, and welcome to Louisville, Kentucky. This week, the best of the best are here to compete in the biggest and most prestigious robotics competition in the world. This is the 2017 VEX Robotics World Championship. VEX World includes the top 1,400 teams worldwide who have qualified in one of three main program divisions. The VEX IQ Challenge, which includes an elementary school and middle school division, the VEX Robotics Competition, including a middle school and high school division, and VEX U for college teams. The more than 15,000 student participants from more than 30 nations all have designed, built, and programmed their own unique robots, and this week have competed in a series of qualifying matches. The top teams, with their alliance partners, advance to their respective division playoffs. The top alliance from each division then move on and do battle for a shot at the title of World Champion. I'm joined now by Paul Copioli and Karthik Kanagasabapathy of VEX Robotics. Now, Paul, the interesting thing about this event is that each and every year, the game design itself is different.
That's right, Jenny. In the VEX Robotics competition, we need to change the game and change the challenge each year because we want these students to innovate their designs and make them be creative and do just different things. Some of these students are in the program for 6 or 7 years, so we have to keep the challenge different.
Karthik, this year's game is Starstruck. So there's stars, cubed objects, a hanging bar. Can you take us through the specifics of the game?
Yeah, we kind of describe this game as if it's a version of volleyball. Except in volleyball, you just got one ball that's going back and forth. Here you have 24 stars and 4 cubes. These stars are the real challenge in the game. It's not an object you're going to find on a store shelf. It's custom designed to challenge these kids.
Let's take a look at the rules. Starstruck is played by 2 alliances, one red and one blue. Each alliance is comprised of 2 teams, and each team plays their own robot. The object of the game is to obtain a higher score than the opposing alliance by scoring stars and cubes across the fence into the 2 distinct scoring zones. Stars are worth 1 point in the near zone and 2 points in the far zone. And cubes are worth 2 points in the near zone and 4 points in the far zone. Teams can also score points with the hanging bar in the final 30 seconds of the match. A low hang is worth 4 points, and 12 points for a high hanging robot.
In 3, 2, 1, go!
Each match begins with a 15-second autonomous period, where robots score with pre-programmed instructions and no help from the drivers. When we come back, our high school division champs battle in the round robin to determine the top 2 alliances that will move on to the finals. Also, we'll meet one competitor from Fayetteville, Arkansas, and learn about his incredible journey to Worlds. Much more ahead from Louisville and the VEX Robotics World Championship.
CBS Sports Spectacular presents the VEX Robotics World Championship, sponsored by GE. A company that wants to change the world should reflect the world. The Robotics Education and Competition Foundation, inspiring students one robot at a time. And by VEX Robotics, the world's leading name in educational robotics.
We are 3526A from Cork, Ireland, and we have the largest awards hall in Europe. Yeah!
Our team name is Creativity Private School, and we are from Bahrain.
Buenos días, nosotros somos el equipo King Row, identificado con el ID 6250E. Venimos del país Colombia.
Welcome back to Freedom Hall in Louisville, Kentucky for the 2017 VEX Robotics World Championship. The VEX Robotics Competition High School is made up of 6 divisions: science, technology, engineering, math, research, and arts. In the round robin, each division is made up of an alliance of 3 teams. Only 2 of the 3 teams can play for an alliance at a time. Each of our alliances will play a total of 5 matches, playing each other only once. The top 2 teams after the round robin will advance to take a best-of-3 finals for the World Championship.
Thanks, Jenny. With Paul Copioli, I'm Karthik Kanagasabapathy. As we get set for our first match between engineering and arts, let's take a closer look at the team from Council Bluffs, Iowa, the Black Squirrels.
We're named the Black Squirrels because black squirrels are actually a local animal that you see within Council Bluffs, and we like to keep the names kind of representing our local area.
The Black Squirrels have been sort of a dominant team in the region for the past couple of years. A lot of people know the name Black Squirrels or 5813B.
It's really important to us to represent our community just so we can, set a path for the future people and kind of show, like, this is where we come from and this is what we're able to do and what we're capable of. My role started out as a programmer, just helping out with autonomous, and ended up being the driver of the robot.
She's been an incredible member of this team. Her character and her demeanor is one of the things that made this possible.
I actually have an opportunity to go to middle schools and talk to the kids about, being a girl in engineering and math and science kind of fields, so that's really awesome as well.
Last year, the deal was that if we won our division, we could retire the Black Squirrels name, which is like a huge goal of mine.
And honestly, we didn't think that was probably going to happen, but we thought it was a good motivator.
It's something that is really important to me because last year I was with some of the smartest minds, and we got really close, but we never achieved it. And this year it's new people and different teammates, and we're working together to achieve the same thing.
We've done this for 5 years, and every year we just raise the bar, and every year I think the next year I'm just like, wow, that was great, but it's not going to happen again, and every year it's just gotten better. And if the kids weren't learning from one another, we wouldn't have gotten as far as we have. So not only am I proud of these kids, but I'm proud of the kids that came before them that really didn't believe that they could be this good.
With the Black Squirrels winning the Arts Division, it looks like the team name will be retired. Now let's see if they can bring home a world championship. The match starts in autonomous period. That's right. The first 15 seconds of every match, the robots are not being driven by the drivers, but they are actually pre-programmed and moving on their own. Whoever scores the most points in the autonomous period gets a valuable 4-point bonus. Looks like engineering takes auto in this match.
That 4-point bonus, while important, it's more important to get the stars and the cubes on the other side of the field as much as possible to get in the way of your opponents and free up your side of the field for the rest of the match.
When you're watching the match, you're trying to figure out who's winning. You really want to focus on where all the yellow is. If there's more yellow stars on one side of the field than the other, that means that alliance is up.
You will see these robots at the World Championship throwing multiple stars, 4, 5, 6 stars at a time. This is important because the action will be fast and the scores will change quickly.
Watching the robots patrol the field here, trying to find ways to score, we say, oh, pushing and shoving by all 4 robots at the fence. That is totally legal interaction. The fence divides the 2 alliances, but it doesn't stop them from blocking. It's just like volleyball. You go right up to the net and you slam it back in their face.
As we see a view of the close-up of the drivers, you can see that all the drive teams have different strategies. You can have 1 driver, 2 drivers, 1 coach, 2 coach. The coaches will look at the overall field for a strategic match play, and the driver has to execute that strategy.
Under 30 seconds left in this match, you can see engineering is dominating with all those stars on the arts side of the field.
In the last 30 seconds, each team has to place an additional cube on the field. This changes the game dynamic at the end of the match. The teams have to pay attention. They were focusing on stars. Now they got to change their attention to the cubes.
Engineering in absolute control right here. The Black Squirrels were very prepared for this match, but this engineering alliance looks phenomenal right now.
This replay, the alliance in the blue side has all their stars on the field. It's really slowing them down. You can see the active blocking and the engineering team doing a great job of stopping the scoring.
And there's the score from this match. Engineering takes it 32-12. As we gear up for our next match between the Math and Science Division champs, let's meet brothers Wes and Will from Phantom Robotics.
We love being outdoors, fishing, hiking, all kinds of things outside. We love doing that together.
My brother and I love to fish. It really is our big escape or kind of release from the tensions of robotics to just go out, get on the water and go and catch some fish.
We have 2 brothers on the team, Wes and Will. Will is the older of the 2. But because they are brothers, they kind of know how each other's think, and they complement each other as far as builds and ideas.
That's something that very few teams can say, is that they actually have siblings on their team. Then Nathan and Zach and some other guys, we go way back. We've known each other for quite a long time. We're really just a really tight-knit group. We're basically like a family. We work incredibly well together.
They're a very hardworking group of kids and self-motivated. And this year, at the beginning of the year, they said, we're going to go to Worlds. And I said, okay, that's good. And, you know, nice goal.
That's what we wanted to do. We really wanted to take our program to the next level. We put in an incredible amount of work to be able to get in that position to make that happen.
In this next round robin match, we have the Math Alliance led by Phantom Robotics up against Science. In autonomous mode, you see some robots going for stars, others going for cubes. Absolutely essential that partners work together to try and secure the autonomous bonus.
It is very important that the robots try to complement each other and coordinate, but more importantly than getting stars and cubes individually is to stay out of each other's way so that each robot can get the most amount of objects on the other side of the field.
Driver control mode starts. Phantom Robotics immediately trying to dump 4 stars.
These manipulators are so large because the teams tried to get one device to score cubes and stars. As a result, that device can get a bunch of stars at one time and throw them over the fence.
Science doing a good job here, but one of the robots is in a little bit of trouble. They go over. Let's see if they can get themselves back up. They're really going to push hard. They need to get back up to survive this match, but this is bad news. They just got dunked on. Ouch, right in their face.
Just a little bit of time where it's 1-on-2 changes the course of the match. The stars are all clumped on the blue side of the field. Science has a lot of work to do. The Red Alliance in Math, they have a free field. They have nothing inhibiting their motion. These stars really slow down the motion of the Blue Alliance.
Science was behind there for a while, but they're making a fast comeback here with these quick dumps.
The quick dumps are important at the end. You got to get the flow. You got to get the timing. Those cubes are also important, getting those on the other side of the field. Remember, Science won autonomous, so they don't have to actually win tally-up. They just have to get within 3 points.
Time running out in this one. The last dump may be the one that wins it. This is too close to call. Oh, all those cubes hanging over the fence.
The teams and refs are counting their points. It's very close. In the replay here, you see the points in the 1-point zone. All of those stars are only worth 1 point. It looks overwhelming, and that block at the end of the match is super important. That happens right about there.
Referee's going to give us that score. It's a tie, 22-22 between these two alliances. That is really going to shake up our standings.
Being at Worlds is a really great experience because you get to meet a lot of new teams and like make new friends. And it's a really great experience just to see like really high level of competition and how everyone can work together.
Well, for one, it's huge, and also it is energetic, spontaneous, a lot of creativity in how people dress and how their robots look, and everyone's a different person, and it's amazing.
I think my favorite part is actually just being here, because I've aspired to get here for so long that now that I'm finally here, I just don't even know what to do. It's awesome. It's great.
We are Team 1231E Electrobots from Benton Middle School in Manassas, Virginia, and we are state champions.
We're Team 1981F GMS Adam from Grant Middle School in Marion, Ohio, and we are the Ohio State champions.
Hi, we are Team 6986E Lancers Robotics. We are the middle school team, and we are very excited to be here.
Hi, we're 2616H from Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and we're the Harambots.
This week, VEX Worlds also welcomed the nearly 600 teams from around the world for the VEX IQ Challenge. The elementary and middle school teams competed in their own game, titled Crossover. In the elementary division, it was the Chinese alliance of Team 15472A, the second experimental primary A team from Qingdao, Shandong, China, and Team 68A from Kunming, Hunan, China, taking home the championship after besting the field with a score of 99. In the VEX IQ Middle School Division, the alliance of Team 16180G, the Invexibles from Katy, Texas, and Team 555A, the Gladiators from Brampton, Ontario, Canada, took home the World Championship with a score of 97. The Gladiators also took home the World Championship in the Skills Challenge with a top score of 174. Everyone's journey to the VEX Robotics World Championship is unique, but this year, one student from Fayetteville, Arkansas, shows us his incredible determination to overcome far more than any opposing alliance.
From a real early age, Remy was always interested in, if I take it apart, can I put it back together? It's almost like he has a natural talent for tech.
I enjoyed everything about robotics. The aspect of the building, the designing, the programming is quite fun for me.
If robotics fueled Remy's passion for engineering, it also helped form an unbreakable bond with his classmate. And together, they set out to form Team Nemesis.
Grant was his best friend, and they had the idea of forming a team.
We had met at school, and we both liked the same things, engineering and shop.
My wife and I had just retired to bed and was a little bit late. Get a call from Remy, and always pick the call up. And he said, well, my moped's gone. And I thought, well, there's a concern. And he said, I think I broke my leg and I can't find Grant.
I was in quite a bit of pain. My femur was shattered, and my foot was somewhat there. But really, my first thoughts were how my friend was. When the paramedics arrived, I told them to go see if he was all right.
The vehicle that struck Remy's moped had blown through a stop sign. Both Remy and his best friend Grant were now in critical condition.
Remy was obviously doped up with morphine and different painkillers, and he was constantly asking about his friend Grant.
I was laying there, and I was told, my dad told me that he didn't make it in the accident, and he had died that night. A few minutes later, I also had to find out that I wasn't going to be able to keep my foot.
Coping with the loss of his friend and the lower portion of his right leg, Remy channeled his energy back into his passion for robotics and finished the work he and Grant had started.
Remy was able to focus on robotics instead of what was happening to him. He's only had his prosthetic leg since January of this year. And in that short period of time, he decided, since I'm not able to get around very much, let me see what I can do about robotics. And then it dawned on him, you know, I can honor Grant, my friend, in this way by finishing what we started together.
And I knew that if I had the chance to continue on, it's what he would want. And it didn't dawn on me later that I could name the robot after him and, in a way, continue on his legacy. When I qualified for Worlds, it was one of the happiest times of my life. I never thought I would be here today.
Remy's a really determined guy. I look a little bulldog. When he gets a hold of something, he won't turn it loose. And I was delighted that he had been involved in robotics before this and that he could pick it back up again and use that as his focus to move himself ahead.
I'm now joined by Remy and his father, Shane. Remy, it's been an emotional journey to get here, but what has the experience been like here at Worlds?
It's been very good. I've met a lot of nice people, and I had a great experience overall. I didn't do as well as I'd like, but I made it. I made it to Worlds.
I'm really proud of my son, all he's been through to get here, and we've had a great time.
Thank you both for sharing your story with us.
Worlds is crazy. Lots of walking, but it's really fun. It's so cool to see the different countries all come together, and you may not know their language, but it's so cool to be able to interact and still be able to compete with them. Even if you can't understand them or talk to them, you can still do robotics because it's for everyone.
It's ginormous. When you walk in, there's people everywhere. They literally have the red carpet rolled out for you. It's amazing. There's nothing like it.
We're Team 9290D from Hereford Middle School, Moncton, Maryland. That's Carolyn, Julia, Natalie, Zoe, and I'm Catherine. Hi, we're from GMS Robotics. We're team 77240A from Easley, South Carolina.
We're Robo Squad Orange, team 59360A from Del Rio, Texas at Del Rio Middle School.
The Girl-Powered Social kicked off this week to recognize and celebrate the young women involved in VEX Robotics and emphasize the opportunities that they have to change the world. One of the featured panelists was Kentucky's Lieutenant Governor, Janine Hampton, an industrial engineer herself.
I think girls are finding the same things exciting in robotics that the boys are. There is that tech angle in some cases that excites them. The teamwork aspect of things.
Unlike physical sports, robotics is a sport of the mind. Girls have different mindsets than guys a lot of the time. So by having both genders in STEM and engineering overall, you have more ideas and a variety of things that you can do.
Guys can do really well, but girls can do just as well. And I think that's really important to get girls just to get their confidence up and realize that they can do it too.
I think that since we are now a girls team, that we are definitely more pumped than other teams might be, because it's like, hey, we're doing something that people have said that we're not allowed to do or can't do. We are all equal in this STEM program.
To me, it doesn't really matter at all. It's just we're all here to compete and we're all here to have fun.
Thanks to the Girl-Powered Initiative, the face of robotics is changing, showcasing inspiring examples of successful women and providing the necessary support and tools at the community level. The program is driving for equal representation of boys and girls in robotics.
Science, technology, engineering, and math, those are universal languages, and they don't care about your sex, they don't care about your race, they don't care about any of that. And so you can't get a more level playing field than that. And so the sooner we get girls interested in this, the better.
Thanks, Jenny. It's great to see so many young women making an impact at this year's World Championship. Now, let's meet the team with Texas-sized pride from the small town of Cumbie.
Cumbie is a very small town with 777 people.
Very, very small. That's how most people describe it. There's a lot of agriculture, very old school, so having robotics here is really eye-opening to the community.
This is the most important thing that you need to know about Cumbie to get an idea of who we are. Our mayor is also the lunch lady.
Our community is very, very proud of our robotics team here at Cumbie High School. Last year named a street after them.
Our entire community has really supported us. They put a billboard up with the kids and the robot on the billboard, and that was a really big deal to them.
I don't think they expected us to do as well as we have. The first year we did it, we were awful. But then every year we learned more and more and more.
We actually have 3 females on our team that is going to Worlds, and they have shown me that it doesn't matter whether you're a girl or you're a boy. They're just as capable as the guys.
I didn't think I would like robotics because I was in sports, and I decided I didn't like sports. So I tried robotics, and at first I was like, well, I don't know if I'll be into this, especially being a girl in it. But after maybe like a month, I already fell in love with it. I loved it.
I think that most people would be really surprised to know that a small school could actually be as successful as they have been for the last few years. It's very, very doable. A small school can do it with support from your community.
It feels great to represent Cumbie because, of course, being from a small town, nobody really knows where or what Cumbie is, so we kind of put it on the map. You don't have to come from a rich school or have a lot of money to do great things. You can be from wherever, as long as you try your best and you can do great things.
Back with some more round-robin action, math versus research, research being led by the Trojan Knights. In autonomous, Math moves really quickly, but now they're setting up some blocking.
So it looks like Math may have reprogrammed their autonomous. They've got a few views at research, and they made paths that would block the Research Alliance, knowing they would score first in Auton, and that paid off for them, winning autonomous.
That's right, that blocking gives the autonomous to Math in that early lead. Driver control mode starting. You may notice that the Math Alliance features Phantom Robotics, but Phantom Robotics is not in this match. Alliances consist of 3 teams, but only 2 play in any given match.
On the left side of the field here, there's a stalemate with 1 robot on the research side with 5 stars in their grasp, and the Math Alliance robot is stopping them from playing, saying, look, we won Auton, we don't need these stars, you need these stars, we're going to let our partner take care of business.
And while that stalemate's going on, we got a little bit of a 1 versus 1 matchup, and the Trojan Knights are just cleaning up the field, really punishing them.
The Trojan Knights are really making up for the deficit after Auton. This one-on-one matchup is clearly being won by the Trojan Knights. Math is going to have to make a decision here soon.
And Math made that decision. They backed off right there. It's now back to a 2-on-2 matchup where Math seems to be doing really well. Look at those stars.
The only question I have, Karthik, is did Math make that decision too late? Only time will tell with 10 seconds left in the match.
Things are coming down right here. Another very close match at the VEX Robotics World Championship. 5 seconds remaining. Oh, those last cubes. Who is going to get those over? And a couple of stars at the very end. Wow. Super close match. The Trojan Knights, oh, they look concerned. They might know something we don't.
This stalemate highlighted in the preview, you can see it here, just locking it up. But then at the end of the match, the teams decided to take a different path, and both robots scoring stars on each side of the field.
And then we see those cubes that we talked about, so valuable. And there's the score. Math wins it 21-19. Taking a look at the current leaderboard, we see that Arts is at the top of the standings, followed by Math and Engineering. More from Louisville after this.
One of the great things about the robotics community is we all have a common goal. We're all working towards something, and even when we don't agree on anything, we can always work together to figure out a better solution that's even better than our first original idea.
We all share like the passion of robotics. We're all here to compete and have fun and share our love of the robotics with each other.
Basically being surrounded by people who understand you and are interested in the same things as you. And even with the people who don't speak English, it's like you still have something in common and you can still find ways to communicate, to work together.
Muy bien, muy bien, muy bien, muchas gracias.
And it's just an amazing experience. I don't know where else I would be without robotics.
I'm with Paige from Paige Robotics. Paige, you've been involved in the robotics world for quite some time, but this year, a personal journey. Can you take us through it?
Well, so basically, I was with my high school team for the first 3 years of high school, and senior year came, and I really just wanted to go out and challenge myself because I actually want to get into the engineering field, so that's why I started my own team this year.
And you can tell these robots have a military inspiration. Where does that come from?
Okay, well, first of all, I am a solo independent team. And the issue was I was going up against high school teams who had 3 to 4 teams with them. So they would all work together. They all knew each other. And it was my first year here. So I needed a way to stand out. But also, too, my father and my family, they've raised me to have such great respect for the military and everything that they do. And I made this robot and did the whole military theme as a way to give a little tribute, a thank you to the military, to show them that there are people who support you and really respect everything that you do for us. So thank you everyone out there for everything that you've done. So
Paige, you are a true inspiration. Good luck in engineering, and thank you for talking with us.
Thank you very much.
As we get ready for our next round robin match between engineering and science, let's look back at engineering's last match where there was some intriguing drama. They were facing off against technology, and technology robot had 10, 12 stars loaded up going for a game-clinching dunk. Except engineering had to counter it, and they got a little bit too aggressive. Look at them push there, intentionally trying to tip their opponent over and totally disrupting what they were trying to do. The referees talked about it. They made a decision to disqualify engineering from that match, giving technology the win. Now, engineering's in quite the hole here. They have to win this match to move on to the finals. And the match starts again with autonomous period. Robots moving quickly.
Engineering scores quickly with those 3 stars on the fence, but the science division scores another 3 stars from their field, scores a cube from their side of the field, which gives them a pretty overwhelming lead in autonomous. Engineering will have to dig out of this hole if they want to win this match, and this is a must-win. So in the beginning of tally-up, engineering has to work quickly. Science is getting to work on those stars, but the engineering division getting those cubes over the fence, they have cleaned out their side of the field. They have made this a quite even match. They did a great job of recovering from autonomous.
Every time science makes a dump, engineering seems to have an answer. They got some great counter moves here. Intriguing strategy as they play this one out.
They're putting a lot of the stars in the middle of the field right in front of the science division's fence. That slows them down because these are not only game objects, they're inhibitors to movement. So as long as engineering can keep the movement of the science division slower, they may end up winning this match.
We got less than 30 seconds left. That means the extra 2 cubes have been introduced into the field. Those cubes could be the deciding factor. We see a little bit of interaction at the fence, pushing and shoving, trying to get these stars and cubes over. It is super close with less than 15 seconds remaining. Oh no, it looks like a couple of the science division robots have been tipped over. Oh, and engineering's just gonna finish them off by dunking right on their heads. They just keep adding the stars on, and wow, that was overwhelming to finish that match off.
Let's take a look at the replay, Karthik. We see the cubes flying over from the engineering. Science starting to get a cluster over here. You've got engineering going over to score, science scoring, and there's the tip. Robot on the side, you're pretty much doomed if you're playing 2-on-1.
And the final score, engineering takes that one 33-7. They now are still alive in their quest to be world champions. Now, let's go to Jenny.
The VEX U finals this week was a true battle of the best. The winningest team in VEX U history, Team Aura from New Zealand, came into the finals having won the robot skills, the programming skills, and the Excellence Award. Their opponents, Team IFR from Coral Springs, Florida, won all 7 tournaments on their road to Worlds and went undefeated in their division matches leading up to the finals. In the best-of-3 finals, Team Aura only needed 2 matches to top Team IFR and bring home their first world championship. The VEX Robotics competition middle school finals went the distance with the Red Alliance, made up of Team 8736A from Shanghai, China, and their partners from Team 8065U from Singapore, losing their first match and coming back to win the next 2 to be crowned world champions.
We're now joined by Bob Mimlich and Tony Norman, co-founders of VEX Robotics. Bob, this is the 10th anniversary of VEX Worlds. What has impressed you the most about the growth of this competition?
Well, we never would have guessed that we'd have made it to 18,000 teams in 10 years. This year at the World Championship, we have 1,400 robots here. We didn't have that many at the first event. We didn't have that many students at the first event. So the growth has been phenomenal. Now we're in 40 countries around the world, reaching 1 million kids a year. It's just astounding.
Tony, it's safe to say that these are life skills these competitors can use in academics and professionally moving forward.
Exactly. We thought at the beginning we're going to teach math and science, but at the end of the day, it's dedication, teamwork, working together, and really those life lessons that just make you excel in life. And that's what really just makes us so proud to see the way these kids change.
It's an incredible competition. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jenny. Now let's take a look at the current standings. Art's in first place at a record of 3-1, followed by engineering, math, and research. Our next round robin match, we have math versus technology. If math wins this match, they will move on to the World Championship Finals. Phantom Robotics is back on the field, so we get to see their extreme star clearing abilities.
At the start of autonomous, the math division scores quickly, but technology has a couple of stars and a cube that got over on the math division side. That could be the difference. There's another load of stars getting ready to go up and over. Even though they didn't score them, they still moved them from the 2-point zone to the 1-point zone, which advances them and gives them the win in autonomous.
Technology with a big lead right here. It's going to be up to math to try and form a comeback, but look, watch out. They got Phantom Robotics, the fastest star-clearing robot in the world, arguably.
As you can see, they're going back in that corner, working the stars, getting them over. One dump quickly. They acquire a cube. It's back over quickly. Going back for a couple more. 2 more stars. 3 scores when the opposing robot only scored once. And they have 5 stars in their possession. Boom! Over the fence.
That 5-star dump really opened up the field there for Math. Their side of the field is almost empty, except Technology's not giving up. Look at that dump.
Well, Technology's getting to start a clump of stars in that right corner of their field. That's going to hinder their movement. It looks like the Math Alliance has a lot more free space, and they're really starting to cluster those cubes to stop the motion.
These last couple of seconds here, Math doing everything they can, and they are totally clearing their side of the field. And they've got some blocking going on right here. Time running down, and wow, Math really finished that match off strong. All 4 cubes are on the other side of the field. There are only 4 stars on their side of the field.
You see the stars in the front section of this zone. It's really starting to clump up, and the Blue Alliance just couldn't maneuver around and score and outscore the speed of the Math Alliance.
Phantom Robotics finished strong and finished hard. And our score, Math takes it 31-12. They are moving on to the finals. Here are the standings going into our last round robin match. Math in first place. Arts is in second place. With a win in this last match, they will guarantee themselves a spot in the finals. But a loss means they're out. We're back for our final round robin match. Research led by the Trojan Knights up against Arts and the Black Squirrels. If Arts wins this match, they're moving on to the World Championship Finals. But if they lose, they're going home.
At the start of Autonomous, the Red Alliance Research Division cleared their side of the back line, which gives them a dominant lead after Autonomous mode.
We saw in our last match, the Math Alliance, led by Phantom Robotics, was able to overcome an overwhelming Autonomous lead. Can Arts and the Black Squirrels do the same thing?
Well, Karthik, I don't know, because these 2 alliances are extremely evenly matched, so Research has a large advantage due to their Autonomous mode.
The Trojan Knights are completely cleaning up their side of the field. There's barely anything left.
Every move that Arts makes, Research has an answer for. Research has a clear field with easy to maneuver around, but Arts has this clumped field with stars in their way and it really slowing him down.
This is the best Research has looked all tournament long, and it's really paying off.
It's turning into a dominant win for Research, a very clear side of the field. Arts is just clumps of stars in their way. They can't seem to get it going, and Research is just flying across their field.
Arts knows they need to win this match to get to the finals, but there's really not much that they can do at this point.
As the cubes enter the field in the last 30 seconds, Research has a stranglehold on this match.
The cube play isn't even helping Research at this point. They've just got everything under control. 15 seconds left in this match. We're going to see how it comes out here, but Arts, they basically have nothing that they can do anymore. Every object is on their side of the field. Research is just punishing them. Cubes, stars. Research's got nothing left to do. Hey, looks like they're going to try and hang. Going up, 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 up. Yes, they did. They hung for those 12 bonus points. First time we've seen that in the round robin.
The replay here shows the dilemma that the Arts Division was in. Clumped stars surrounding them, hindering their movement, and the Research Division took advantage of it, throwing cubes all over the field.
There's the final score. Research winning 54-8. Arts has been eliminated, meaning that Engineering is moving on to the World Championship Finals. Now, let's go to Jenny.
We are now joined by Phantom Robotics. You guys punched your ticket to the finals. What's the strategy going forward?
Really, we're just going to try to play our game, get as many stars and cubes as fast as possible. We're going to try to get some really big loads and let our partner do a lot of defense. Really good at that.
Yeah, our big advantage with the defense that we chose is that our partners are going to be able to do a lot of blocking and really be able to hold off the other alliance while we are able to go and do the scoring on the other side of the field. So that's going to kind of be our game strategy for the finals here.
All right, good luck in the finals, guys.
Thank you.
The finals are set. It'll be Math versus Engineering for the World Championship when we return.
CBS Sports Spectacular presents the VEX Robotics World Championship, sponsored by the Robotics Education and Competition Foundation, inspiring students one robot at a time. VEX Robotics, the world's leading name in educational robotics. And by Hexbug, intelligent, lifelike micro-robotic creatures.
One of the biggest thrills this week for the teams is the unveiling of next year's games.
The VEX IQ Challenge Ringmaster!
For VEX IQ participants in elementary and middle school, they will attempt to topple Ringmaster. The object is to maximize your score with your alliance partner by scoring rings in the floor goal or on posts. And extra points are awarded for stacking rings in a uniform color.
Introducing VEX Robotics Competition in the Zone!
VEX Robotics Competition in the Zone will be played by VRC Middle School, High School, and VEXU participants. The object of the game is to obtain a higher score than the opposing alliance by stacking cones on goals, by scoring mobile goals in zones, by having the highest stacks, and by parking robots at the end of the driver-controlled period.
An incredible round robin, guys. Karthik, what impressed you the most about the robots?
I really thought these robots were making some smart strategic decisions. They completely abandoned the hanging bar. The hanging bar is worth 12 points, and that's a lot. But these teams knew that they were so good at the speed game, they could score way more than that in the time it would take to hang.
And Paul, what can we expect from the math and engineering alliances in the finals?
Well, these two alliances have already played each other once in the round robin, so we've got a little bit of a preview of what we're going to see in the finals. They're going to use a speed game, both of them, but they're going to use the lanes and do the cross-court action and then try to block each other and anticipate where they're going to be throwing to keep the objects in the same side of the field.
Getting ready for this match, it looks like Phantom Robotics is not coming out on the field. That is an interesting strategic decision here.
Karthik, I completely disagree with this decision. They have the fastest star-scoring robot in the world, and they're on the sidelines. They should be playing every single match of this finals.
Interesting to see how this one plays out. Autonomous mode, engineering, clearing the backline very quickly.
Engineering clearing the backline. They've been doing that all during the round robin. And now in the finals, they get that cube and score that. That's a dominant lead for engineering after autonomous.
Math appears to be in a bit of trouble here, but remember, in their last round robin match, Math lost autonomous badly, and they came back to win. However, that was propelled by the star-clearing ability of Phantom Robotics. Phantom Robotics is not on the field right now, so their alliance partner is going to have to pick up the slack.
The Engineering Alliance taking advantage, and oh, a robot on its back as the Engineering Alliance was trying to score 5 stars. The other robot got in the way from Math, and they are on their back. It is a 2-on-1 situation. This does not look good for the Math division.
Things went from bad for Math to really, really bad right now. Their partner trying to pick them up, but I don't even know if that's going to make a difference at this point.
That's the only move they have, Karthik. 2-on-1. They're going to lose at 2-on-1. They need their partner's help. The problem is, while they're trying to get their partner up, they get tangled up. There's stars surrounding them, cubes all on their side of the field. You've got the engineering division standing guard at the fence. They're in big trouble. You see the unofficial score at 47-0. All the objects are on the Math side of the field. The robots get untangled, but there's no time left with 10 seconds and the clock running out.
Remember, these matches are in the finals are best 2 out of 3. You have to win twice to move on and be the world champion. So, all hope is not lost for Math.
In the replay, even before the robot was on its back, the Math division was in big trouble. Engineering had a complete control of the match without the fastest star-scoring robot on the field. And then after the robot was on its back for Math, Engineering just cleaned up and dominated.
Engineering is going to be leading 1-0 going into the next match of the finals, meaning it's do or die time for Math. Let's go to Jenny.
I'm now joined by Will and Wesley with Phantom Robotics. Will, as Alliance captains, you elected to sit out the first round. What went behind that decision?
So all through the finals matches in our division and even up into the round robin, we actually chose our alliance partners. They know each other very well. They practice with each other. One's from China and the other is actually from Canada, but they also speak Chinese. So communication is a huge factor in this game, and for them to be able to work together and be able to communicate very well was a big thing for us to be able to have them run together, and that's why we chose to have them go on our first match, because just the communication thing, and really that's what was very successful for us.
That strategy was not at all successful for them in finals match 1. When you're the fastest star-scoring robot on the field, you need to be on that field every match. Lucky for them, finals match 2, they're back on the field. Phantom Robotics, let's see what they can do.
All the pressure right here is on the Math Alliance to win and force a deciding third match.
In autonomous mode, the Engineering Alliance is doing what they've been doing all day long, scoring a massive amount of stars in the beginning of Auton and scoring that cube at the last second, giving them a dominant lead and, more importantly, a clear field to work with at the start of teleoperated mode.
This match is playing out exactly how Engineering wants to. They want to take a big lead in autonomous mode and then do their offensive defense that we like to talk about. They will always go to score stars, but every time they go to score, they do a little bit of blocking in the aftermath.
The one thing about this Math division, they've got Phantom Robotics. They flipped the script with how fast they scored a bunch of stars. They were clumped, they took advantage of it, and they got them on the other side of the field quickly.
Phantom Robotics really closed this one up. It was a big lead for Engineering to start the match, but with Phantom Robotics scoring stars, no lead is safe.
It's very even right now, back and forth. Both alliances have a clump of stars in their front, but they have robots that can handle those stars and throw over 6 stars at a time.
Watch Phantom Robotics. They just patrol the field like a free safety. Anything that comes their way, they dump it right back.
They're scoring 4 stars, 5 stars, 6 stars at a time. All of these robots have upped their game for this. They know that this match is important. Are we going to go to a third match? Is Phantom Robotics going to be back on the field? Or is their year done after this match?
We've got the best robots in the world, and it shows with how fast the scoring's happening.
Math is now starting a blocking strategy, trying to block those things. They can't get them blocked at the fence. The Engineering division scores those 3 stars, but now they've got a cube that's back over, stars that are back over. With under 30 seconds left, we've got cubes entering the field. There's 4 cubes now, so you can't just concentrate on stars.
And it looks like all of those cubes, 3 of those cubes, and now 4 cubes on the red side of the field. That is trouble for the Red Alliance.
Math division needs to take care of those cubes, or they are going home in 2. They are focusing on the stars, but they've got to get those cubes moved over to the other side.
Engineering playing this cube strategy at the end of the match. Whoa! That ends it, and that's right. 4 cubes on one side of the field. That is good news for Engineering and not so good for Math.
But Math, Karthik, has a bunch of stars in the far zone. 2 of those stars make up for one of those cubes, so we'll see what happens.
You can see the star scoring going on there, the big clumps that were being picked up, and then the move to get the cubes over.
Unlike in other matches, each alliance was handling those clumps of stars beautifully. In the replay, they were just taking care of business, but it's the cubes that made the difference.
And there it is. Engineering wins 28-18. The cubes were the difference, and Engineering is our new 2017 VEX Robotics World Champions. Now, here's Jenny with our 2017 World Champions.
We are here with Brian with the Resistance, a champion. You told me earlier that consistency was key. How does it feel to be a world champion?
I mean, it really feels more surreal than anything. I mean, like, this is a first-year team, so I never imagined when I got here that I'd, like, end up all the way at the top.
Congratulations on a world championship.
Congratulations to the Engineering Division, our 2017 VEX Robotics World Champions. For all of us here in Louisville, thanks for watching.